Oh, it says a premium account. Okay.
Didn't let you?
Didn't let me do the Twitter thing, but should be live on YouTube.
All right. I'm going to post a link. Hopefully we get some people. If it's early in the morning, that's all right.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, link is posted.
All right, cash that fucking ticket. Patty Reed gets us off the schneid. Or gets me off the schneid. It's been a month of close calls for the past month, probably 6 weeks, maybe, close calls. And we almost got 2 of them. Almost had Grayson in the playoff. I was able to hedge out at least. And thank Christ I won one of those playoffs, because the second one was a heartbreaker with Grayson. Grayson also missed a 3-footer early, not early in the round, but on like 16, I think it was. No, 14. He probably could have won in regulation, but is what it is. We got Matt on, fresh off LIV Dallas, his LIV Dallas trip. So we're going to recap Patty Reed. Patty Reed, what a fucking guy. What a week for Patrick Reed. Matt, you were extremely confident all week about Reed performing well here in Dallas. What led you to I've never heard you talk about a golfer as confident as you were with Reed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't bet, nor do I give betting advice, but I can look at these players play and see their press conferences and analyze how I think they're going to do. And for me, right from the beginning, Reed seemed like the first thing that stuck out to me. We're doing the press conferences, and he was talking about the golf course. And we had done 3 or 4 press conferences. I talked to a handful of players. Every single one of them is like, this is going to be so tough. It's firm and fast. It's going to be a grind out there. The rough's thick. And then Reed was like, yeah, I think it's pretty receptive. You're in the fairway. Like, I think this course is gettable. I was like, no one else is saying that. He's the only person saying this course is gettable. And he's from the region. He's used to that style of golf. He hadn't won in Texas yet, but he's played really good in Texas.
I can't believe he'd never won in Texas. That was shocking to me.
I know. It was shocking to me too. I don't think he even knew it until one of us brought it up.
Wow.
And then, so that was part of it. I did the what's in the bag. He had his daughter's putter, but some nice messages on it. I liked that aspect of it. And you look at the approach numbers from his last 2 starts, Virginia and the U.S. Open, the finishes weren't great, T23 in both, but his irons were finding something. The thing with Reed, all year long, his driver has been off and on. And then you saw at the U.S. Open, he hit it really, really good with his driver.
He has the QI 35.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't like that, right? But he loves it.
So he has, let me see, he had the
holy fuck, his approach numbers in Dallas were incredible too.
Yeah, they were so good. He and then even from the beginning, I never once thought he wasn't going to win. Even like when he was struggling on Sunday, like you knew he was probably primed for maybe a not great round after he was a 3-shot lead. Like I didn't think he was going to go and win by 6. But he kept grinding it out. Even like the back 9, he had 9 pars on the back 9.
Yeah. So let's get into that Sunday. Like perfect start. He sticks it on 1, and then Answer and Casey both double. So I'm like, okay, we're up 5. This should go well. I can kind of focus on Grayson and Thor Bjornsson in the PGA. And then all of a sudden,
just let me interrupt you real quick. He has the GT3, the Titleist GT3 drive that everybody loves. His 3-wood is the QI 35.
Gotcha. That's what I saw. Okay. So we got a 5-shot lead after 1. I'm like, okay, we're going. Patty Reed's just closing the door. I even asked you Saturday night. I was like, how do you feel about Reed closing this out for me? And you were like, dude, I've never been more confident about a guy closing it out. Like I even when everybody was tied on Friday morning, like I knew he was going to win. And I was like, okay, let's go. And then I got a little worried. But it's kind of like these LIV Sundays have just been getting real wonky lately. You had the Virginia one got crazy. Dallas got crazy. Even the South Korea one when 3 Sticks took the lead from Bryson. And then the Mexico and Miami when Mark won, like that these LIV Sundays have been kind of wonky lately. But I was glad we got into the playoff, and then that shot he hit into 18. That was a hell of a birdie on 18. 18's a fucking beast there, man.
Yeah, after the round, I was like, that was a sick club trail. Can you tell me like what you thought about when you hit the shot? And he's like, yeah. I had a great rapport with him all week. I kind of started to build that relationship, which was great. So, and I think I asked him good questions that he appreciated. But he was like, yeah, I knew I hit it good. He was like, I just didn't know if the wind was going to mess with it at all, but it looked so good. And, 20 feet, 16 feet, 6 inches, I think it was, above the hole. He's good on those little right to lefters.
Dude, that putt, it felt like that putt took so long to fucking drop. I was like,
dripped in the side door.
Go in for me one time, baby.
Yeah, so, I mean, and it was good to see Casey and Louis play well, too.
Yeah, Louis came from the clouds.
Yeah.
We had Matt Miller on last week, and he was heavy on Casey at 50-1. So obviously that was a good bet. What are your outlooks on those two guys? They're probably the two best players now that haven't won on LIV, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm high on them. Louis, I'm optimistic, but cautiously so. Like, he did a lot with around the green and putting.
Yeah,
but he was T4 at Valderrama last year, and then Casey was talking about how good he feels, and he stripes on approach too. I think he might have been first on the weekend approach.
He was better than Reed. It says on Data Golf 2.09 around for Casey. Reed was 1.9.
So he gained over 6 shots on approach. Looks good, feels good. He was very confident after the round. He's like, I'm starting to play great golf. He was like, Valderrama I haven't been great at in my life. But he's like, but I'm definitely playing good. And he's like, and he's like, and then JCB, I owe them one. He's like, I have unfinished business there.
Wow. So we got to bet him in what was he battling Rahm last year?
Who did Rahm win JCB?
Rahm won JCB.
Yeah, so he must have been.
Yeah. All right, I'll bet Paul. That's cool. I have no. We've always been great, big man. Paul guys.
Yeah, he looks. I cannot believe he's like 50 years old.
It's wild.
He looks good though. I think I
said. Back to just the wonky Sundays on LIV. Like there was so many guys in the mix. Kazuma from the clouds.
Hatton. How about Genie? He's the man.
Who? Genie?
Yes.
Yeah, I was rooting hard against him, but yeah, he played well. It was good for him to finally get a sniff. How old is he?
I think he's like 29.
Oh, okay, so he's a little older.
But Ironheads have nothing. They need him, man. He's like he's carrying them, and he was he was great on approach too. Look at those numbers.
We'll pull Kazuma up. Yeah, the Ironheads. They need to. Sungjae needs to cut the.
He'd probably make him worse.
Wow, he was 3 on approach.
Yeah, so he gained 9 strokes.
Would make him worse. Guy hasn't hit an iron in fucking a year. And then you had Hatton, who shot what -8 on Saturday.
7, yeah, round of the week.
And then for a while, I thought he was gonna just run away with it, and then he got in trouble in the fescue there and whiffed. He's the best though. I fucking love him, dude. Just his antics, everything he says. I was like, this guy's just awesome, man.
Like, this is the worst fucking hole that ever existed. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Which is the same hole that Neiman did make a 10 on Friday.
Yeah. That's a good one. Morikawa to the Ironheads.
That would be funny.
Probably make them worse too. Okay, a couple other things from LIV. Oh, Reed. Keep on Reed for a second. Some of the shots Reed hit this week were fucking incredible. The chip on Friday on the par 5. I think another guy, Varner, was in it too. That Varner talked about in the presser. This is one of the best shots he's ever seen, but then he missed the fucking 4-footer for bird. How about that chip? That was amazing.
Yeah, oh my God. That was one of the best I've ever seen. Well, in the interview room, Varner's like, none of you guys saw that? None of you guys saw that? And I was like, what am I going to yell? I did. So I said nothing really. But yeah, that was one of the craziest. I can't believe he missed the putt though.
I know. Sucks. And Varner was giving him shit for that. And then Saturday, he was really struggling on that par 5, and he had like a 70-yard bunker shot. That was one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Did you see me ask him about it and his response?
No, what'd he say?
He talked for like, I asked the question. I was like, that shot on 13 kept you around together. Like, that was such a hard shot. I cannot believe you got that up and down. And he's like, yeah. And he gave the whole description of how he played it, whatever. It was really good.
Oh, I got to check it out because Did he? Was it as tough as I thought it was?
Yeah, he said it was like the hardest shot ever.
Yeah, dude, he had to fly another bunker. It was 70 yards, and it was just like he spun it to a foot. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing, I guess the second biggest story after Reed was probably Sergio getting the Open exemption. What did he finish this week?
Who?
Top 20? Sergio?
Sergio finished 25th outside of the
Okay.
points, but no one else did enough to overtake him.
Yeah, so he got the Open exemption. Happy for him. He's just not playing that great of golf. I don't understand.
I spoke to him before and after. He wasn't, to be honest with you, he wasn't that thrilled to talk to me, even after he gets the Open exemption.
Really?
Like, he just, I don't know. And I asked him, I was like, what does it mean to you that the 2-week stretch, Open at Portrush, when you've missed the Open the last 2 years, and then Valderrama 2 straight weeks? He's like, it's actually 5 weeks. I was like, well, I wasn't saying how many weeks in a row you were playing. I was saying, what does those 2 weeks mean to you? But he's like, because he's playing, he's making his European Tour return this week.
Yep.
Then he's going Spain Open, JCB, whatever.
Yeah, so big stretch here for him if he wants to get the Ryder Cup. This is the push.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like he's. I don't know.
You know who
I don't
also
know.
is coming for a Ryder Cup spot is Fitzy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sergio's on the downturn, I feel like, where he had a lot of steam early in the season. Now it's, I don't know. He's got to play his best golf right now.
Yeah, I'll read you his quote. What he said afterwards. He was like, "Thank God I played like good early in the season because, right now I'm not playing that well anymore." And to be fair, Sunday was a tough day. He shot 2 under. One of the few guys, handful of guys who were under par on the day. So I think maybe he found something. I hope, but he didn't seem like he was in that good of a mood right after. Well, first he didn't believe me. I was like, "Hey, congrats on getting that Open spot." He's like, "Well, I need to make sure I did." I was like, "I'm confirming you did." I was like, "You're like 9 points ahead of the second place, and the tournament's over." So I don't know how that could,
Yeah. Okay, so that's Sergio. Anything else on Sergio?
Yeah, I'd love to see him play well, but I mean, I was kind of hoping that because it's the top, you can only go to number 5, already exempt. So like if it went to 6, nobody would get it. Like because Reed jumped 4.
Yep.
So then if, say he jumped to 4 and someone else who's already exempt jumped to 5, no one gets it. So I was kind of hoping that, well, I was glad Sergio got it because he's not playing in the qualifier. And the more LIV players, the better. But I guess that's it. Reed jumped to 4th in the standings, but he was already exempt.
Yeah, so if like DJ got to 5th, like it wouldn't have gone to Sergio if he was 6th.
Yeah, exactly. So Reed finished 10th there last time too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at Reed and Jay Day as my kind of veterans in the mix there at the Open. I'm already on Rahm and Vic pretty hard. So, but
I love that.
Jay Day and Pat Reed, I'm looking at both hard. I think both at 100-1. Speaking of Rahm, his top 10 streak is over. I think this is a good thing. I think it's a great thing, actually.
I do too. Well, as great as something could be for something that doesn't matter.
Yeah. He was fiery this week.
He's been fiery, I mean, consistently the last month, or is it, especially since I've been around. I don't know if prior to that he was still, but he's been very edgy just from the beginning. He's just
That's
edgy.
Good.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I tried to see if he'd say he wants to win the Open because I was like, what does a successful season look like to you? Like this week on Monday or Tuesday, I said that to him, and he said, I'd like to at least have a win. He didn't specify LIV or not, but I think it's fine. Obviously, the top 10 thing is fine, but I also think him not playing that great is fine too right now.
Yeah, I mean, he still finished 11th.
He could win Valderrama. He doesn't love the course though.
Yeah, he doesn't play well there. What do you do first? Stats this week. Level on approach. Guy just fucks off the tee all the time.
He's so good off the tee.
I was thinking about this. He's pretty close to Bryson off the tee.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He pounds him.
And who else? I mean, another thing too is I don't know if people realize this. I think most people do, but Pooch hits it farther than Bryson.
Yeah, I know.
Like legit, like not once in a while, like pound for pound. Well, definitely pound for pound, but driving average, I think he hits it farther.
He was another guy that was in the mix, and he just makes too many dumb mistakes, man.
Yeah,
on
but
Saturday he had that eagle 20 feet and made par on 17, and then 18 he just duck hooks it, and then first hole on Sunday he makes a quad, I think.
Yeah, I just think he's
just young.
He's just young. He's young. Maybe
he's
him.
Got to run away with. He's got to run away with one. That's his path to a victory, I think.
Yeah, some other guys people are mentioning, but I'll wait till we get to them organically.
Yeah. This is the one we want to talk about. Are we putting Brooks on ice for Portrush? Okay, so Brooks, was he actually sick? What do you think? And then he smashed that tee marker pretty good. A la Rory Wyndham Clark.
So, first answers, I don't really think it impacts too much for Portrush. Obviously, you'd like to see him playing better, but was he sick? So here's the thing: he wasn't around much Monday and Tuesday, and so I was trying to figure out like why he wasn't really around. You know, maybe people say he doesn't care, whatever. So then, to me, the sickness thing kind of makes sense because people said then afterwards they're like, yeah, he hasn't been around because he's been feeling like shit and it's 100 degrees out. So if he's sick already and he's not coming to the golf course and he comes and tries to play and doesn't play well, yeah, makes sense why that he was sick. So I didn't hear anything that indicated he wasn't. Was he frustrated he wasn't playing well? I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. I mean, it had something to do with it.
Okay, so if I wanted to bet Brooks at 55-1 for the Open, which I've been looking at, do you think he's going to play well? I mean, he was good at the U.S. Open, or should I be more cautious with it?
I mean, I wouldn't. I think Brooks at any major, he has a chance to contend, and I think the fact that he was good in the last one is good. But I mean, at that number, I think it's worth a shot. Like I also wouldn't be surprised if he didn't play well.
Yeah. I've had a good Brooks radar recently.
Yeah.
I was going to bet him this week, and I was like, nah, I'm just not feeling it. And I haven't bet him in majors in a while. So I'm just going to go with my gut on Brooks the week of, I think.
Yeah. And just to clarify, too, I know nothing about Brooks. He doesn't talk to me. I've never spoken to him. This is not like insider information or anything. I have no fucking clue, just like no one else does. So.
Okay. I know you see DJ a lot on the range, which is shocking. The stuff you told me about DJ is just shocking to me.
So, yeah, again, I've been at 3 events. And if I could accumulate all the time that I've spent on the range or in the putting green and who's been there the most, it's been DJ to me by a mile. He is always
fucking
there.
Wild.
Yeah, he's always there practicing, always.
Do you think he only practices like week of events?
I mean, that could be the case. I don't know. But during the week of events, he's practicing more than anybody. He's there early. He stays late. He's putting. He's grinding on the range. Claude is always there working with him. So, he has his team around him all the time. But
you told me that, and then you told me Reed's like the greatest guy ever.
Reed, yeah, he's been awesome to me. I don't know if it's because he likes my questions or not, but like him and I have developing a little bit of a relationship, and I think he's great. Yeah, he's awesome. And I talked to some other people too. I'm like, is Reed always like in a good mood? He's like, yeah. All the stuff that people say about him, to me, has not shown through. I think some players have talked about that. I think Kisner maybe was one of them. Have you seen that quote? He was talking about like how it was like a media manufactured thing that Reed wasn't a nice guy.
Yeah, somebody else said it this week too. One of the LIV guys. AK
said he's a little bit weird, but he's good.
Yeah, but it wasn't just AK. There was somebody else. I forget.
I love AK too, but I got to tell you a story about AK too.
Okay, hold on that. DJ, because I do have AK listed as one of the topics. DJ, approach-wise, 1.63 around, approach. He's just not finding it with that putter. What do we make of him with that the big spawn putter?
He played with the lab on Sunday. I mean, sorry, he played with the spider again on Sunday.
Okay.
He just goes back and forth whenever he feels like it.
Yeah. Wow, his approach numbers are good.
DJ's he's going to be fine. Like he's going to win one of the 3 U.S. events.
What do we got left for U.S.? Chicago.
Well, one's a team event, so I guess 2. Chicago and Indy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, a couple people saying in here. Reed was having a great time with J-Day. Tom came in Minwoo at the practice round, and then Peters came right to his defense. Yeah, guys seem to like him. I mean,
yeah, I don't get it. I feel like that whole people don't like Reed was like just a thing 10 years ago, and he's kind of changed it.
Yeah, I do too.
We got to answer this question.
Snedeker.
I love Snedeker. 450 to 1. He's on the card. Put it on the card. Okay, so next topic. Let's just go to AK. Sure. AK, give us your story.
So I met AK and I went to introduce to him. Him and I have talked for a couple of years, like just a little bit here and there on DMs and stuff. But he was like, so a lot of these guys don't consume any media and stuff. But so I went up to him and said, "Hey, AK, Matt Vincenzi just wanted to officially meet you." And he goes, "Oh," like he dapped me up, like gave me a hug and stuff. So definitely, knows who I am and follows what I've written and stuff. And he's like, he's like, "I got something. I got a bone to pick with you." I don't think he said bone to pick. How I interpreted it. I forget his phrasing. So I was like, "Oh, what?" And he's like, "The interview you did with Chambly. This is like 3 years ago." He was like, "I watched the interview with Chambly, and he said that I belong in a McDonald's playpen, and you didn't stick up for me, or something." And he's like, and then I said, that's where he found his wife in a McDonald's playpen. And I was like, "Oh, my bad." I was like, I should have stuck up. I was like, but again, I was working for WRX, gets paid by the tour, is in a really tough spot. He's like, no, I'm messing with you, man. But he watched the entire me interviewing Brandel Chambly thing. It had like 800 views or something.
Nice. He was going after Eamon Lynch yesterday.
Yeah, that was hilarious. He goes, I don't think anyone would trust him in a locker room. Am I going to be at LIV Chicago? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be at every LIV event ever. And the Ryder Cup.
For this year, what about next year?
Next year, I'll be at every LIV event and every major.
Oh, I thought, okay. I didn't know you were going to all of them.
Yeah, I'll be at all of them.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're in Chicago, go out and see Matt. Next thing on the list, crowds at Dallas sold out.
Crowds were huge. I'll tell you this.
Thanks to Bryson, I think.
Yeah. Do you see the video of Bryson?
Yeah. Which one? The one at the concert?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
It was wild, man. Wild. But yeah, the place was packed. I'll tell you that on Saturday. Like, so people think it's like some type of fake whatever, but little insider info here about it. Like, so we're allowed to get a couple tickets for like our families and friends if we want. And we were told like the day or two before, not that I would have anyway, but the day or two before, like, hey, like there's literally nothing to give anybody.
That's great.
That's internal. That's not a public message. That's someone telling us like, hey, there are no tickets available. So the place was 100% packed on Saturday, and it was hot as shit, and people were all there. So crowd was great.
I think they're gonna get dog walked in the ratings on Sunday though.
Well, yeah, I just saw the Rocket Mortgage like the most viewed ever or something.
Yeah, just because it's on FS2, man, on Sunday. Saturday, I bet you they did better because it was on Fox.
Right, but I still think too, like the linear TV ratings.
No, I don't care about them. I just the optics.
Yeah, like, but I don't think LIV cares about them either.
I don't think they do either. I don't give a shit about them. I mean,
why does everyone suddenly care about that? Since when
I was explaining to my grandfather how LIV works. He's like, "What's with all the colors? And am I following this team thing?" I'm like, "He's fucking 87. He doesn't know. He just wants it on Fox so he can click Fox and watch golf."
Yeah,
he can't find FS2.
Right. Like, I mean, it's like ratings made sense in like the 70s, but people are streaming. LIV is obviously trying to be and is the worldwide tour now. I mean, we're going to South Africa.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. The schedule for next year. Yeah, it was a wild day of golf. I was watching both tours. I was going back and forth. I had a pool party at my house, and we were all sweating Reed. We were all sweating Grayson. For some reason, I wasn't on Potgieter. Like, I don't know why I wasn't on Potgieter. It really pissed me off that I wasn't on Potgieter. It would have been a stress-free playoff after Kirk kicked the rocks in that first hole or second hole. But it was wild. It was an amazing day of golf between both events, LIV and PGA. LIV was wild. PGA was wild. I had a lot of fun, but it would have been more misery if Reed didn't pull through for me. I'll tell you that, because I've had a lot of close calls in the last 6 weeks, and I know we hit a share of winners there in April, May timeframe, but since then it's been just like every week someone's in the mix, and you just can't cross the line, and it's getting very frustrating. But thank Christ for Patty Reed. Before we get into LIV schedule, Scott O'Neill came out with some comments today on whose podcast was that? Rick Shields, saying the next couple of years, LIV's going to be getting into women's golf.
I didn't see it.
Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
He said in the next 2 to 3 years, he's basically like, yeah, the PGA has the U.S. market cornered. He's like, we're going to try to take the world market, and you'll probably see us in the next 2 to 3 years getting into women's golf as well. Just basically backing Golf Saudi and Aramco as their big investors there.
I think they could overtake the women's market easily.
Easily.
I think that's probably why they'll do it.
Yeah. So, okay, and then LIV schedule.
I gotta say this: are people going to shit on the women for taking the cash, or no? They're allowed to.
I mean, Golf Saudi's all over the women's golf.
Every event is sponsored by Aramco or Riyadh or Golf Saudi. So
yeah. So LIV schedule preliminary came out. Looking at the first 5 events before the Masters are all international events. You got Ryder, Adelaide in February. Back-to-back weeks.
I gotta help you with the Riyadh pronunciation here.
Oh, sorry, Riyadh. Whatever.
Yeah.
Riyadh, Adelaide in February. Obviously been to those 2 courses. Hong Kong went there this year, right?
Yeah, Sergio won.
That's it. You got that in March. Singapore, been there a bunch of times. That's in March. Great course there. And then newly added March. So they're going 3 straight weeks: Hong Kong, Singapore, and then South Africa, newly added. So they're trying to get that South Africa market with the Stingers there. Those are the first 5 events before the Masters.
Real quick to answer the question, Michigan at the same course in 26 as 25. I think it's based on both sides wanting that to happen. They want to see how this one goes first.
Okay. What do you make of the South Africa event?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you bring in the biggest stars of South Africa. That's the goal, obviously, to bring the biggest stars to all these golf star markets. If South Africans love golf, I think it's gonna be. I mean, what if it turns into the Adelaide of South Africa? Now you get 2 events where fans are crazy, loving the golf. I think it's a great thing. The schedule.
We could have Aldi Potts on the Stingers next year.
I want to talk about that. Is now the time?
Sure.
So, first of all, you guys know I'm a huge Potgieter fan. Love him. He's awesome. And this is nothing against Brandon Grace. This is simply analyzing the fact that he's currently in the drop zone.
Yeah. And
he was last year too. So if he has to be relegated and doesn't get back on the promotion event, they'll need to replace him. Potgieter thing is interesting. Now, point 1, he follows Stingers on Instagram. Okay. Point 2, they could definitely use a young player. And here's the thing: if all the best South Africans are already on LIV, which they are, right?
Yeah, I guess the other ones would be Seabez and Van Rooyen and him. Aldi's obviously better than both of those guys.
Right, but what would be his like reason for not wanting to join? Like all his people are already there. Now the only reason why not would be, I think he's close with Ernie.
Yeah,
And Ernie's very anti-live.
yeah.
But he's also close with Louis, Ernie, and Louis went too. So you get. I just think it'd be a great situation because you have these veterans like Charles and Louis who could help guide him in short game stuff. Like I just think it would be a really good situation for a young South African. And now they're going to South Africa for the biggest South African event in the world. Like that has to help. So obviously, I have no idea.
Do you think the win makes his chances of going to live higher or lower?
I think non-factor.
Did he get into majors with that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe the other aspect to me is the pathways are opening for the major thing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this while I was watching Dickie. I hope so. I love Aldrich. I'll root for him, whatever tour he's on. And this is not just about this is just about everybody. So as they're battling for that final spot for the Open, I was looking at it and saying, all right, well, Rahm, Neiman, Bryson are exempt. So the pathway to the majors, you're offering one more spot. That spot could have been so it was Puig, Herbert, and Munoz battling. So if you're a pretty good player, now you're not saying there's no way to get majors. Okay, I get to beat everybody not named Bryson, Rahm, Neiman. That's doable.
Yeah.
So if you believe in yourself and you want to go to live and you want to play in majors, that system opens it up where you can qualify if you play good golf. Just worry about playing good golf. The rest will take care of itself. You don't have to say, hey, I'm playing great, but I can't get in. Right? If Burmeister was playing great this year, he'd have gotten in.
Right.
Definitely. So I think
all these players get 2 spots, I think. I think it needed to be 2.
Well, definitely will. I think it's going to start. Once you open that door for the first one, that was bigger than anyone want to give it credit for because now they've already admitted, the RNA and the USGA have admitted that LIV is real golf, real tour, whatever. They wouldn't have given a spot if they weren't. So they've already validated what LIV is doing by giving one spot. Once you do that, it's much easier to go from 1 to 2 than it is to go from 0 to 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Do you I don't want to ask this question. Pocky. Well, I'll get to Pocky Eater when we get to PGA. Back to the schedule. So we get those 5 events, very similar to this year before the Masters. Are players happy with those 5 before the Masters or Masters?
I don't know. Good question. I don't know.
Okay, and then after the Masters, they go straight to Mexico City, and then back to the Robert Trent Jones course in Virginia. I think that's a good prep. That's the week before the PGA. I think that's a great prep for the PGA, which would be in Pennsylvania. So, and then after the PGA, you get a week off, and then you hit the road, international events again, South Korea and Spain before 2 weeks off, then the U.S. Open. U.S. Open, where's the U.S. Open next year? Pebble? Shinnecock next year. Okay. So, I mean, Valderrama and Shinnecock aren't really that comparable, but
it's probably better than the Open lead-in, though.
Huh?
It's probably better to lead into the...
Oh, yeah. It's definitely way better than leading into the Open because Valderrama isn't really a link-style course, but it's just funny that next year, Shinnecock is more of a linksy type course.
Yeah.
Then after the U.S. Open, they're going to New Orleans. Any idea where that is?
I don't know for sure yet. I think they're going to announce it on... I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say this, but I'll say it next week. I think it's that's going to be the first big announcement. New Orleans is wicked excited about this tournament. And I know they're paying LIV for it.
Wow.
So they're their government is all fired up. They're going to make it a big thing.
Yep. Wow, that's good.
So I don't know.
Then after New Orleans, you get the Open, and then very similar closing stretch to this year. We're going back to JCB, right?
I think there's a long-term deal there, yeah.
Yeah, so JCB, in the UK, and then 3 straight: Chicago, Indy, Michigan. Is the Chicago? Do you know if the Chicago one's still at Bolingbrook?
Well, here's the thing about Bolingbrook. People want to like shit on it or whatever, but the first year, like when they played it, exceeded everyone's expectations. The course was tough.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Is it good for fans?
Yeah, and the fans loved it, and the community loved it. Like they were all about it. And like I saw an interview with the mayor or whatever, and they're like,
Yeah, I don't really care. The PGA has some fucking awful courses. Whatever.
yeah, I want to make this point too. I think live courses, if you go by percentage of how many courses that they go to that are hard or good or we like as fans, I think the higher percentage of good courses is on live.
Yeah, I'd have to dig into it. I'm not sure.
Like if it's 5 or 6 out of 14.
Yeah, it's true. That I mean, percentage wise, yeah. See, I don't mind weeks like the Rocket and John Deere this week. Like I think
No, it's fine.
I think that's perfect for. I think those 2 events are perfect for the PGA schedule. It's just like the Travelers. Like, what are we doing? That's just not a good schedule spot.
And it shouldn't be elevated either.
Yeah. Same with the Heritage. That shouldn't be elevated. I'm fine with Birdfest every now and then. You know what you're getting into. It's just.
Yeah, you don't want to make these guys playing a grind every single week.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Liv's schedule. I do think Indy and Michigan are contingent on how it goes this year, right?
Well, the course is. I think they're going to those cities.
Okay, the courses. Gotcha. Okay. Lastly on Liv, before I open it up to you and any other things you want to say, Bryson, tough week to start. I mean, he played really good on Sunday. I think he finished T8 or something.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was basically the host of the event. Struggled big time putting. He hasn't been putting that good as of late. But what do we make of his performance?
So, first of all, I was shocked at how positive he was. He was in a great mood, even when he wasn't playing well.
Yeah.
He's so happy in general. He's so happy. Like people want to talk about people not being happy at live. Sure, maybe you can make that argument. I don't see it, but him in particular, he's happy as shit.
Yeah.
Like he's loving his life, and which is great. And he made this quote about I want to read this to you. This quote about the Crushers. So I asked him this. I was like, you guys are a really diverse team. You have Anirban from India, you have Casey from England, and you get, you and Howell from the U.S. And he said, let's see, the game of golf is ready for change. We continue to hope to see the game move in the team direction. Obviously, the game of golf will always be an individual sport. We'll always play for individual titles. But why not have a team aspect as well and have more fun together? Why can't we build something special? Why can't we influence and inspire the next generation of golfers as a team? We want people to have that fandom like you have with the Lakers, like you have with the Yankees. It's going to take time. We all know that. And the people that are looking at us going, what is this? Why is this a thing? Well, the Yankees had to start somewhere. The Lakers had to start somewhere. And we're just at the inception. And the reason why I believe in what he's saying, if you look at the amount of kids with Crushers hats at that tournament, like maybe in the grand scheme of things, they aren't the Lakers or the Yankees. We all know that. But in that golf ecosystem, in that small space, where everyone's there as fans, to them, they are.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a while, though, man, especially in the U.S.
But to the 10-year-old golf fan, like the Crushers are already the fucking Yankees.
Well, yeah, because Bryson, yeah. Kids love Bryson.
They do.
My daughter watches Bryson's YouTube religiously.
Dude,
But how do the other teams grow like that? They need a face like Bryson.
Yeah, and they need the regional. I think they need to do a better job making the teams nation-based, and they got to play better. Dude, like if the Ironheads had, say, Hideki or any, and they were good, the Asian fans would be good for it. The other thing too is like, why are there South Koreans, Japanese, all in the same teams? I feel like there's some.
We know why they're Asians.
But they don't even like each other. Like they're not even like the same planet in terms of it's like saying, U.S. and Canadians are basically the same, or U.S. and Mexicans. They're close enough. Like to them, to us, yeah, they're all Asians.
Yeah.
But I think they need a like a Japanese team and a South Korean team, separate.
Yeah. What else on LIV that you want to bring up or anything before I move on to the PGA? You enjoy the week in Dallas? What was better, Dallas or Virginia?
Oh, good question. Dallas, I think, was better.
Yeah, it must have been hot, huh?
It was hot, but hot doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, it was hot as fuck here too.
I'm a hot-blooded person. I'd rather be hot than cold a million times over. So it was fine. Heat was fine. And the media center is always cold, so I can just go in there whenever I want. Yeah, I like Dallas a little better than Virginia. I like both a lot. Both were great weeks.
I gotta hand it to you, man. You put me on Peters in Virginia week of, and then we kind of discussed Reed a little bit, but like I scoffed at the number, and your confidence just like I was like, I gotta just hammer Reed. I don't give a shit about the number. Matt was so confident in Reed that I just like hammered it. So that's 2 weeks in a row. You being on site has really because LIV's so tough to bet. And if I get any inside info from you, it's fucking great. Like I'm fucking loving it.
I was sure Reed was going to win. And then, but I mean, looking forward to going to Spain next week. That'll be fun.
So you leave when?
Monday.
Okay.
So Monday to Monday at all these tournaments. Obviously it's tough being away from the family. That's the really tough part about it that I'm trying to navigate. My brain goes through the same like stages every week that I go.
You gonna bring them to any of the U.S. events?
I'm gonna try to bring them to the Indy for a couple days.
Yeah,
but like so, these are the stages of my brain. Just to give you a little insight. Monday I get there, and I'm like, why am I leaving my kids? Why the fuck am I doing this? Should I really even do this? I'll just do something else. Fuck this shit. And then, the next day is a little better and a little better. And then once the tournament starts, I'm so busy. And I'm at the course for like 13 hours and I'm writing like a madman and I have a million things to do that I forget about it a little bit. And then by Sunday, like, I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like, it's almost addictive being at the event.
Yeah.
And I was talking to another employee about that too. It's like, you think it's hard, but then you look at it and it's like, I can't imagine not going to the next one. So that's how I feel on Sunday. So then by the time I get to Monday again in Spain, I'm sure going to be like, what the fuck am I doing in Spain?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how you feel after that 3-week stretch in August.
That's going to be a tough one, but then
you're just going from event to event. You're not even coming home.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Yeah, you got to get them out to Indy.
So I think they're going to come for a couple days from Indy, which is fine. The only thing else that is cool, and if you have kids, you got to bring them to a LIV event. Like, the access they give kids is fucking incredible. There's like an area where kids go and it's like literally right there with the players, and every single player stops to autograph and talk to each kid. Like everybody does. There's like a kid zone. Like if you bring your kid to one of those events, they're going to have the time of their life.
Yeah. Good.
Especially you got to bring Zoe to an event.
Yeah. She would love to
meet every single player, get an autograph from every single player. Like basically up into the ropes. It's 100%.
Okay, last thing. Actually, you want to answer that question?
Which Spaniard? Sergio form, I just don't know. He's so good there, though. I mean, sure, he can figure it out. There. So that's a tough thing. Rahm doesn't really love the course, but I think he's obviously good enough to overcome that easily. I wouldn't shock me if he won.
We got another Spaniard dominating his Open qualifier. He's 3 up. On second place, so it looks like Puig's gonna get in. He's 3 up on EVR at the moment, and Massavoy is T4 in that qualifier.
Wow!
Along with Uline.
Are they in the second round already?
They're in the second round. Yep.
Wow.
That's at Royal Port, and I think Herbie's leading the West Lancaster.
He's leading?
Yep, he's 2 up on somebody.
Quick story about that. I talked to his caddy, Nick Pugh, who's the man. They were telling me about their trip, and Herbie's the man too. I'll tell you that. Herbie and his caddy are the most down-to-earth dudes like ever. But they were talking about their itinerary. Like they had to go. He was hoping to get the spot. It was a rough itinerary. You got to fly right to where you're going, and then So he said Herbert would go to the hotel to sleep while the caddy would go out and scout the course. So West Lancashire, where they're playing, his caddy Pugh, that was his home course. He grew up on the course. So it's no surprise that he's 2 up there because the caddy literally grew up on the course.
Wow. Awesome. You like him at Portrush?
I can't hear you right now. I don't know, for some reason you're cutting out.
You like him at Portrush?
I'll hear you now. Yeah, I do. I can contend open. He said to me, if I get in the open, I can contend.
Yeah. Yeah, Westy also
Straight
playing
up.
well at his qualifier.
Yeah. You're in and out, but to answer Gurr, Puig does not have any history at Valderrama.
Okay, this is what I was talking about here, Westy.
Okay, I mean, good to see you, man. That'd be interesting if he got in, huh?
Yeah, he's old as shit.
Yeah, he's old. Oh, Bias Stairs. He's talking about him. ASU kid. Oh yeah, Puig went to ASU too. Okay. Bias Stair has, I believe he played there once and missed the cut.
Okay. He's a wild
Maybe
card.
Maybe not though. That might have been the Spanish Open.
He's a wild card.
He's young.
Yeah.
If you look at him and you see him in person, he's the one who looks young as hell. Like acts young, is young. He's like a kid.
Yeah. All right. Enough on LIV. You want to stick around and talk PGA or?
I don't know if I have much to contribute to that, but
okay. Well, just quick recap on the PGA. If you want to go, you can go. I only got 15 minutes anyways. Yeah, Grayson, tough one. We had Grayson and Thor. Thor took the lead for a quick second after 9, and then immediately shit his pants and missed 2 short putts for Bird on 10 and 11, I think. Like short putts. He could have easily been in that playoff. Grayson, I know he missed that 3-footer, I think, on 14. No, sorry, it was on 8. The short par 4 where he stuck it to 3 feet. But then I'm not going to haggle with it. He made a 45-footer to get him in the playoff on 16. Playoff-wise, we're literally inches away on a couple of his putts from winning the playoff. So what are you going to do? And Thor could have easily been in the playoff as well. I really regretted not being on Potgieter. I'm happy for everybody that got him, that stayed on him. He's at 125 to 1. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I should have just bet it blindly, just based on how fucking far that guy hits the ball. He's fucking incredible off the tee, man.
Potgieter?
Yeah.
Oh my God. The chipping needs work, but I mean, he's flat courses.
Dude, he got up and down on that par 3, 15 in the playoff when he sailed it over the back. He was in a tough spot. And Grayson was in the prime position to win the playoff there. And that's when Kirk missed the shorty, but he put his chip to about 6 feet and made the putt. I didn't think he was going to be able to get up and down there.
The one he opened the face and it kind of squirted right.
Yeah. That was a good. That was a big time shot for him. Huh?
Not that I was watching or anything.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. Just another close call on the PGA. We move forward. We're at John Deere Classic this week. It's gonna be a light week, I think. TPC Deere Run, par 72 or par 71. Sorry, 7,268 yards. I got bent grass fairways, greens, very tree lined. It's harder driving than last week. Last week was kind of wide open. You see a lot of bombers. This week you're gonna have to hit the fairway for the most part. But scoring wise, this is another wedge fest. Last week was more like 40 to 70 yard wedge shots. This week I think is going to be more on the regular wedge shots, like 90 to $130. So I'm looking more at that. Where last week these guys were like Potgieter and Grayson had like 8 and 9 irons into the par 5s this week.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Like Grayson pumps it too.
Oh yeah, he does.
Same with Thor. So,
are there any of these young guys who don't come out immediately fucking pumping it, or just every single one of them?
They all pump it. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Is there any of these young guys
Besides
coming out
Akshay.
who's like a
Besides Akshay.
plotter? Yeah, Akshay.
So, I mean, I'm not going to get too into the course. I mean, it's 4th of July week. I don't want to go too crazy. Field is absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. I mean, Ben Griffin is the favorite at 16-1. Jay Day's your second favorite at 22. And then you get into the 30 ranges. You got Denny, Sungjae, JT Poston all at 30. I'll tell you one guy I don't like is Sungjae. The guy hasn't, honestly, 16 of the last 17 weeks, he's been terrible with the irons. Like, has lost on approach. I don't understand how he can be that bad for a guy that used to be an incredible iron player. I'm going right to Denny McCarthy. Get his first win. What do you think?
Yeah, Denny, I mean, we've been on him multiple times over the years, and he always plays well, just hasn't really won. But, I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty fair considering.
I was expecting it 20.
And should we double Ben Griffin?
Yeah, right. I mean, his last 3 starts here, 6th, 6th, 7th. You're gonna have to putt. You're gonna have to roll the rock here. He's the best putter on tour. I was good with a 30-1.
Yeah,
I thought it was a fair number.
Yeah, I think so too.
So,
real quick. Oh yeah, no, go to the next one, then I'll say something.
And then I do think this next bet that I'm making is kind of a force, but I don't give a fuck because it's the John Deere. But I bet our guy Thor. I'm just not missing out on Thor. I've been saying it. I was on him last week at 90-1. He's 35-1 this week. Second here last year, him and Clinton. 17th the year before. Do I think it's kind of a force? Yeah, but I don't care. There's not much I love this week, and I don't want to heavily invest in. So I'm not missing Thor. I'm gonna bet Thor here. I'm gonna probably bet him at the 3M, and I'm definitely betting him at the Barracuda. So just riding Thor.
Yeah, I think I took some heat 2 years and a half ago when I said I think he's gonna have a better career than Clinton, but I feel I'm sticking by that.
Are you?
Yeah.
So Clinton's 40-1. He's been playing awful, even in the college events. I don't understand. No matter how bad he plays, his number just stays the same. I would have taken a risk on Clinton this week if he was like 60.
That number isn't fair.
No, but what do you make of Clinton? Do you think he can contend this week?
I'm not high on him just because he's not playing good.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean,
right.
He played well last week, first 2 days, and then shot 77 on Saturday. Like, how do you shoot 77 at fucking Detroit Golf Club?
There's no fair number on him ever.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe the 3M.
The John Deere Trophy House. 3 straight John Deere winners have stayed in that house. Who's staying in it?
This is the Dave Thompson house. Denny's in it. There's like 7 guys. There's like 7 guys. It's all the Sea Island guys.
The Island guys.
Yeah. Davis Thompson had his interview, and he listed the guys. Denny's one of them. And that leads me to Dave Thompson. I don't know what to do there. 35-1. Won this last year. There's the guys listed there. McCarthy, Poston, Thompson, Kazire, Kirk, Coles, Sig. All Sea Island guys.
What's Kirk this week?
All right. So these are the 2 guys I want to discuss. Kirk is 35-1. Coming off second place, lost in the playoff. Very similar to Dave Thompson last year. He came in second at the Rocket, kept the form. Also, both Kirk and Thompson last year finished 8th at the U.S. Open, second at the Rocket, won the John Deere. Kirk, 12th at the U.S. Open this year, second at the Rocket. Does he contend and win at the John Deere? Usually when Kirk plays well, he plays well for a few weeks, right?
How are the stats?
Kirk's stats were good.
You know what's funny? We always say we don't like guys coming off a playoff loss, but I think it depends on the guy. A guy like Kirk, I don't think it really bothers me too much.
No. And did you see him doing they interviewed him after, you probably didn't see this, but they interviewed him after he lost the playoff hole, and the playoff was still continuing. Suck on that, Morikawa.
Yeah.
Kirk gained 5.4 on approach last week.
I like Kirk better than Thompson.
He gained last at the U.S. Open and Rocket. He's over 9 tee to green both weeks.
How's his history at John Deere?
John Deere history, 21st and 23, 23rd and 2018. I did see some comments. He doesn't play it every year. I did see some comments saying they asked him why he skipped the Travelers. He's like, oh, I wanted to skip the Travelers because I'm really looking forward to playing the Rocket and the John Deere. He's like, I really like those two events. I think he's a guy that kind of like, he did the same thing when he won Honda. He skipped a signature event and then won Honda.
That's what more guys should be doing.
Yeah. I think he knows that. Like these are the type of events I can win type deal.
Yeah. Thirsty, I have a hard time seeing contend at the John Deere just for some reason.
Yeah, Kirk under 100, not as great as, yeah. We're at like 125 average proximity here this week. You like Kirk?
I think.
You like Thompson?
Man, I can't see myself. I don't know.
His stats were good last week. Been good the last 2 weeks, but he's such a shitty putter.
But he's not supposed to be.
I know, but he's bad this year, real bad this year. So I'm leaning Kirk over there. I don't know if I'm going to bet either of them, but those were the guys. So yeah, Denny and Thor are definitely on the card. Looking down the line. All right, we got Jake Knapp's another guy, played well last week. I don't know, driver. I'm out on Jake Knapp. Siwoo Kim, he's not playing great. I was really surprised Pearson Cootie was 40-1. Didn't really understand that. But I guess he's fucking on the Corn Ferry Tour, so that's why I don't know why. I still don't know why he's not 80-1 or 100.
Yeah.
I know Kevin Yu's a popular bet. He's got history here, 6 and a 20th. The next guy I was looking at was Bud Cauley, 45-1. Pre-accident, course history, 8th, 12th, 18th. Playing well. Played well at the Travelers, 3.7 approach, having a good season. I can just picture him contending at the Deere. I think there's a big correlation too with Charles Schwab. He finished third at Colonial this year. I know a few guys have won both. Spieth, Kirk, right? Or Kirk's played well at both. I don't know. What do you think of Bud?
I like Bud in general. I just don't know if he can win.
Yeah. But
can
anyone win this?
Yeah, I mean, I like Bud.
Okay. I'm looking at Bud. I might bet Bud. Huh?
You love him?
No, I don't love him. I don't love the number, but I mean,
the number I think is fair.
Bud or Glover? Who do you like? Both 45.
I think they're both pretty good.
I don't know. I got a weird feel Bud's going to mix.
I don't have any issue with that feeling.
Okay. Who else? The other guys in this range, 50-1 or more. Nico's 55, coming off a good performance. I don't know. I can't see him winning in Iowa. Right?
I can't either.
Putnam, another good performance. Not great history here. A lot of it was
Bud
putting.
definitely drives a tractor, doesn't he?
Huh?
Bud definitely rides a tractor, doesn't he?
Bud? Hey, he's from Alabama, of course.
Okay.
Is that what we're looking for? Guys riding tractors? You know, Lucas Glover rides a tractor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Denny does.
Someone said you have to bet Waco again at Portrush. I don't think you have to.
No, I have at 66-1, but you definitely don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm out on Gerard. He can't putt for shit. You got to make putts this week. I think the winning score is going to be around -22. I don't think it will get as high as Thompson. It was soft last year. I think Thompson got to -28. I am betting Champ. Don't particularly love it, but I'm just going to ride Champ. I thought he played well last week. 80-1. My other one was Grillo. I don't know about Grillo. I don't know if I can stay on the Grillo train. Hit his irons like shit last week, but I don't know if that was an anomaly. I can picture Grillo contending here, but I don't know. Grillo and a Bird Fest. That's tough.
Yeah.
What about Hodges? Anything on Hodges?
I looked at him. I don't know. I have nothing.
Won the 3M bent course, playing well. No?
Fuck him, man.
Okay. We said the same thing before he won the 3M, though. Remember that?
Yeah.
All right. Seabez.
I like Seabez.
Had a second here. I'm slowly kind of liking him right now for this week. Second
Number's
in 2022.
good. Very fair.
It is a fair number.
And a South African has won this. Who was it again?
Fratelli.
Yeah, Fratelli.
But he did lose 6.5 on approach at the Travelers.
But what did he do the week before?
3.5 at the U.S. Open. He can definitely roll it. He gained 7.1 putting, 4.8 at the last two events.
Could be a Pete Dye thing, too, with the approach.
But his irons for the last 6 events have been really good.
Yeah.
Played well at Colonial, too. I could get behind Seabez.
Hubbard, does he have a W? Not to me, man. He's always
Hubbard's
a
not a winning player. He's a guy, you want to bet him top 10, sure. And then the last one on my list was Snedeker.
Snedeker.
450-1. Come on. I got to
not
take a sprinkle on that, right? He's not been bad.
Does he like this place? I assume you have to look at this. The fact that you say you like him, I assumed he fucking loves it here or something.
I just didn't have his page up. Sorry. It was more of a recent play here.
Well, he was good at Memorial, right?
He finished second in 2009.
Checks that box.
Hasn't made the cut in 3 years, 2022, 23, or 24.
But he's been dead then.
He was dead then. He gained 11.3 putting when he finished second. I don't know how you don't win doing that.
Wow.
He probably lost to Stricker. Isn't he he lost to Stricker. Isn't he a Stricker ZJ type guy?
Yeah, I guess he is.
Come on, he finished 7th at the Memorial.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Been
pretty
positive
sure
with the irons 3 straight weeks.
I'm pretty sure he can't win, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at him 450-1.
All right.
So I don't know. That's about it. I'm definitely Denny, Thor, Champ. Looking at Kirk and Cauley. I guess I'm out on Thompson, out on Clanton. Looking at Seabez and Snedeker. John Pack. He's an Illinois guy?
Is he?
Speaking of John Pack, I like John Pack too. Here's another guy I wrote down. That dude Miles Russell committed to FSU.
Did he?
I saw that today. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah. That's about it. I got to get going, to be honest with you. I'm out of time.
Oh, one thing I want to do add. Marty Keimer, who is playing in the DP World Tour event in Germany this week.
Bet him 150-1.
Yeah, he's won it before. Loves the course. He's in good form. 8th and 19th, his last 2 starts, gaining on approach. 150.
Yeah, I bet it. Gordon Sargent sucks at golf, so no. All right.
Good.
Appreciate you coming on. That's it. Patty Reed. Boom.
All right.